come here, come near me, sit with me, because I have a super ninja tip to share with you. Welcome to part 4 of my new series, Crafting Etsy Success as a Beginner, where I show you how I went from zero to profit in my very first months. I share my numbers each and every month, as well as what I'm doing to break into Etsy's marketplace as a complete beginner. So if you want to watch these videos, I'll pop them in the screen right now. The goal with this series is to absolutely show you everything I'm doing, because when I was just first starting out, the strategies of really big and successful shops were not really working for me. So I hope to be as much help as I possibly can sharing my beginner strategies. Here's what we'll be covering in this series. The past few weeks we talked about mindset and organization for a successful Etsy shop, how to build a strong brand identity, how to find your niche, and today's topics will be my secret workflow to creating products that actually sell. So stay tuned. And in the next few videos, we'll talk about crafting killer listing photos, writing product descriptions that convert, how to use Etsy ads, Etsy SEO, promoting your shop, and analyzing your shop's performance. If you missed the previous video, I'll pop it somewhere on the screen so you can start from the beginning. Let's get into today's topic. Personally, I think that processes and systems are what make really great businesses. So I'm gonna share with you my process for creating products today. Here's my system. Step 1, brainstorming. Step 2, product validation. Step 3, product research. And step 4, design. Make sure to stay until the end, because this video is full of nuggets and tips I picked up along the way. My very first step for creating a product is brainstorming. This basically means coming up with a list full of ideas of products to create. At this point, I don't really care about how much the product made, what color is it. I just want to spark creativity. Obviously, the first place I go to is Etsy. Basically, I start by typing every broad keyword and slowly niching down to, well, more niche keywords. If you're following along with this series, you know that we identified as our ideal customer a beginner photographer. So let's see what we can find. When you're doing product research, it's best if you're not logged in into your account, so Etsy is not biased and will not show you things you usually look for. Okay, so we want to be very broad and type in photographer, and I'm actually not gonna enter just yet, because first I want to see what comes up. So these keywords are actually the most searched right now, so definitely we would want to take note. Remember, right now you want to write every single piece of idea that you get. I don't want you to worry about anything else. I usually open a note right beside my screen to write this down. Next step, we're gonna actually enter the keyword and see what comes up. What I like to do is write down products that actually catch my eye, and especially ones that I see more than, well, once. Let's say you want to do digital products just like I want to do. So at this point, I think that we should write down, I don't know, instant. Let's see if, okay, so that's better. Yeah, after scrolling down a little bit, I would write social media posts, contract, and pricing guide. And of course, these are the ones that really stood out to me. Basically, you want to keep going like that until you have a full list of ideas. A few other places I like to check are Amazon. I rarely find great digital products idea in there, but especially if you have a physical shop or print on demand, you absolutely need to check. Also Google, this goes without saying, but Google is basically the first place someone will go if they need to buy something. So checking Google's and what people are searching for there, it's a super great idea. And sometimes it can actually spark great ideas. Another thing I like to do is go on Etsy again and basically test the alphabet. It sounds silly, but let me show you what I mean. Essentially, I type in a broad keyword, let's do photographer again, and I start typing one other letter, so A, for example. So all new frequently searched keywords start coming up. For example, we see here photographer accessories. I basically write down what can apply to my shop. In this case, photographer accessories really doesn't go with digital products. So I go in with the next letter, so B. We have photographer business cards, boxes, branding, business card holder, bio link template. This could be a digital product. Yeah, I'll write them down and then go with C. So contract, checklist, content, client workflow. So yeah, basically you get the drill. I go with each letter of the alphabet and write down everything I see that catches my eye or that can apply to my shop. By the way, if you enjoyed this tip, make sure to leave me a big thumbs up. I have found great products ideas this way because you can't really know the actual search volume, but if Etsy is showing them to you, you already know they have a type of search volume that it's actually worth looking into. You could also go more in depth and repeat this process with other keywords. With photography, for example, or photographer template. So you would go photography A, photography B, photography C, and so on. Okay, come here. Come near me, sit with me, because I have a super ninja tip to share with you. If during this process you find a shop, especially a new one, that targets your ideal customer, my friend, you've just found a goldmine. What you want to do is study this shop. How are the products organized, which products the shop has, and basically everything else. Then I like to use Everbee and analyze the profit of each listing this shop as, well, their shop. I'll show you how just a little bit later in this video. Also, I would write down in my list all of the products that are actually selling well for this shop, as well as some products that are not. I choose the ones that are not selling based on whether they're new. In that case, they might be just really good selling products, but they haven't had the time to be seen yet. I also write down products I feel like I could design better myself. Maybe the product is good, but the design is just not right. Also, if you follow these shops, every time they post a new listing that, again, is targeted to your ideal customer, you will be notified. So you're kind of stealing their research. Obviously, we're not just gonna blindly trust others people's research. This is exactly why the next step in my process is product validation. Now that we have loads of ideas, we only want to go further with the ideas that could potentially make us money. In order to know which product could potentially make money, I use Everbee, which is a Chrome extension for Etsy. Basically, once you download it, when you go to Etsy, you'll see a little menu on the left and you can click all the product features. I will not go in depth about all these features in this video, but if you want me to, just make sure to leave me a comment down below. I'll definitely make a video about it. Also, if you want to try it for free, I have the link in the description. So first thing I do is type in a broad keyword. We already typed that this time. We're gonna use photographer again. Next, you're gonna wanna tap this product analytics button. Everbee is now showing me the details of the first products that showed in search. Actually, the first 64 products. I'm going to sort them from highest monthly revenue to lowest. What? You can already see Lightroom preset bundles are making a freaking lot right now. $30,000. I kind of wish I could steal your ideal customer right now. Now I take out my list again and basically I'm gonna bold every product that I see on my list, which Everbee is also telling me it's selling well. So I'm just gonna have a look. Of course, if I see there are products that are selling really well but are not on my list, I will add them and bold them. So we're definitely gonna add in this Lightroom preset bundle. and bold it. Also, don't just validate products that are making 30,000 a month. When you're first starting, it's a good idea to focus on more of the little ones. For example, you can see here even as low as that, $87 a month. Well, these are euros, but you get it. In this case, for sure, there's gonna be less search volume, but there's also probably gonna be a lot less competition. So it's gonna be easier for you to win these listings, which means you have more chances of making sales. You can do as many as you want. For the purposes of the video, I'm just gonna stick with these ones. Basically, what we just did is we got new ideas and we scratched ideas that customers seem not to be really interested to. Typically, I don't delete those ones from the list. I just drop them into another idea list that I keep in my Etsy Manager Notion template, just because, well, you never know. At this point, I like to double check these products on eRank, as well as to see if new ideas with good search volume and low competition come up. We found Photographer's Contract to be a good product. We're gonna check on eRank, the search volume and competition. Okay, ideally you want all these bars to be green, but in this case I would still go ahead and make this product. Typically, I like to go for 200 and up for search volume, and I like to stay below 15K in competition. But, well, these are just general rules, of course. Obviously, the more I grow, the more the search volume limit will grow. Meaning, if I already made thousands of sales, creating a product with only 200 in search volume, at that point, it would not be ideal for me. It would just not be worth my time. But right now, as a new shop, I think it's actually one of the best ways to go. Now, I love eRank. I really always use it, but I have to be honest with you guys, sometimes I feel like the numbers are a little botched, meaning they seem to be way out of line sometimes. For example, one time I found a product on Everbee and 2 to 3 sellers were making from 20 to 30K a month with these products. Then I cross-check on eRank and it tells me the search volume for most of those keywords was like 500. And I know these products were actually selling because those shops and those specific listings had tons of reviews. So I mean, they must be selling really well. So yeah, I use eRank to have a broad idea of what the search volume and competition could be. Very well, now that we have a list of products you wanna make, I'm just gonna go ahead and choose one. I think I will do Photographer's Contract. So we're gonna take this to our next step, which is product research. With product research, I mean really deciding the vibe of our design. After going through step 1 and 2, you probably would have already noticed some patterns here and there. Maybe you've seen a certain product multiple times and it always has neutral colors, for example. Basically, in this step, we want to understand how most people like the design of this particular product that we want to make, so that we can maximize the chances of getting sales. If I really can't find any patterns, I'll just go ahead and design the product just how I would like it. But honestly, this rarely happens, almost never, at least not in my experience. Also, I like to go into Etsy once again to study the designs of top performing listings. Okay, so we decided to do Photographer's Contract, so I'm gonna write that in and let Everbee analyze these listings. Again, from highest monthly revenue to lowest. And I'm just gonna take the first 3 and open them in another page. If you have Mac, you can do that with Command and then click. Okay, so now I really start studying them. What they include in the product, what is the design, which color they use, which font are they using. Also pay attention to format or sizing, especially if you sell digital products. as well as if they're including freebies, because most big shops do include some freebies. And if you just create the product, and maybe that's better than the top seller right here, but if they have a lot of freebies, people will just go and purchase that listing. And most of the time I'll just go and save those listings, just because when we're gonna create listings photos, I also like to refer top selling products. For example, here I can see this contract is very minimalistic. It's like white with kind of elegant fonts. And let's see, this one is basically the same, maybe because, yes, this is from the same shop. This is a client contract and this is a wedding contract. So maybe we want to decide, are we doing wedding or service contract in general? This other one, again, very neutral color, very clean fonts. So we definitely want to take note of these things. Your main focus with this step needs to be to create a better offer than what you see on the market. For example, you could include more sizes, add another freebie. You want to create the best offer possible so that you cannot but be the top choice. All is left to do now is create the design. This can be in Canva or wherever else you prefer to design. If you're using Canva though, please do not ever use paid elements, even if you have Canva Pro. I know a lot of the times paid elements will look better, but imagine this: you're a customer, you buy a Canva template, and you do not have Canva Pro. So you get your template that you paid for, and now you cannot have it the way you just seen it advertised, because you don't have Canva Pro. This goes with fonts, elements, everything. You just want to use free elements and fonts. Trust me on this. Because if I was a customer, I would seriously be pissed. And also, here's the thing, this could lead to horrible reviews, and we absolutely do not want that. Reviews can really make or break a listing. Also, another thing I obviously need to have is a PDF template for adding my products links. You can make it however you want, but I think that always using the same and including brand colors, logo, and also asking for reviews are the best tips I can give you. Adding the logo and brand colors can absolutely help you establish your brand and make you look professional. And obviously, asking for a review may actually result in someone reviewing your product, which, as I said multiple times now, is crucial, especially for new shops. As always, if you're curious about my Etsy numbers, you can go watch them right now. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on Friday.